Here with Coach Desrosiers after the win over Youngstown State. Back-to-back wins, Coach. Just give us your overall thoughts.
Good. I mean, still, it's non-conference slate, so we're working on kind of disciplining on the details, progressing, trying to play our game, not overly concerned about, I guess, too much of the scout. We're looking for consistencies and trends from other teams, but outside that, we're really just still kind of focusing on we have some gaps, and every day of practice, we're just working on those gaps a little bit more. But I was excited to see the girls' perseverance, especially in that second half, and the weather started coming down and the cards started kind of flying, and you can get really, really flustered, and we were certainly not immune to that, but they hung on to it, so we'll take it.
Yeah, then don't talk about last season too much, but you had 2 wins and then coming back and getting 2 wins already this year. What's kind of that mean to the program?
I mean, it's great, right? So we have a dynamically different roster, and we knew what we were looking at last year in terms of just like the math equation that was going to come out on. So our focus for that was the build and creating some leadership and really growing in our relationship capital with our athletes. And so now this year we have this core of returners that has been through the struggle. So that's super helpful when we have those down moments on the field, because they can come pick kids up and say, this is nothing. Do you know what I mean? And then we can kind of get our heads back in the game. So there's going to be more wins than this one, and we're looking forward to getting back out here in 2 days and playing again.
Yeah, and then can you talk about that early start? I mean, just goals left and right.
The early start was great. Yeah, we were watching for that like kind of twitchy, that hot one slide for the defense, so we could kind of just see some of those backdoor cuts. And they were super disciplined coming out of the gate. And then what kind of happens sometimes when you get a little bit of a early cushion, and I call it cowboys, we could kind of play a little wild, where we were kind of rushing plays, thinking that everything was just going to fall that easy, and it slowed us down. And we really kind of talked about it at halftime, just taking care of possession and going back to what was working for us. The look should be wide open. They shouldn't be just by a couple inches. So yeah, it was a nice start though.
And then offensively, Corinne 4 goals again, Newton another hat trick, Jillian had a hat trick, Emma had a hat trick, but you had 7 goal scorers, I believe, in back-to-back games now. So can you talk about just the distribution of goal scoring as well?
That's amazing, and we need to keep building on that. I want 9 goal scorers. I want 10 goal scorers. That's how you can get yourself to a championship game. That's how you can beat teams when really good defenses start locking off hot shooters. We have more than 1-2 hot shooters this year, and so we're really trying to promote ball movement and getting everyone touches to cage. We had a couple kids with their first points ever in a Duquesne jersey tonight, so we're really going to celebrate those kids hard. But yeah, if we can keep being unselfish on offense and just moving the ball and creating more scoring opportunities for ourselves outside of setups and plays, we could be really dangerous offensively. Yeah.
And then last thing for you, quick turnaround, back in action Saturday against Detroit Mercy.
Back in action Saturday, back in action Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're going to try to stay light on the legs. We're really going to focus on active recovery. We're going to try to be mindful of, how much we're kind of burning these kids' legs. But we're out here again at 7 a.m. tomorrow. And while it'll be a light in terms of the physicality of the practice, we are going to talk about some of the gaps that we had in tonight's game, especially when it came to the officiating and some of the tendencies of the refs, being mindful of the whistles and what they're calling, and kind of working to play that third team on the field is an advantage to it, not a disadvantage.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.